Okay, now let us go into the concepts of profit center accounting. As I told you earlier, cost center accounting is different from profit center accounting, and the main difference between cost center accounting and profit center accounting is cost center accounting is used to track the costs incurred within a company by department, and it allows us to create plan value for each cost center and measure the actual cost incurred against the plan values to derive the variance. So this will give an opportunity for each and every manager of the cost center to reduce the costs in the coming year or even in the current financial year. Alright, so that's the main purpose of cost center accounting, whereas the profit center accounting is something very different. Profit center is actually can contain more than one departments. Alright, more than one department from the same company or a different company. Okay, one of the main difference between profit center accounting and cost center accounting is cost center accounting is by company. It means it happens within the company, whereas profit center accounting it can contain departments from various companies. So let me show this using an example. Okay, let me show this. A cost center can always refer to the department from the same company. It cannot refer to the one cost center cannot be assigned to more than one company, which means that there's one-to-one assignment between the cost center and the department from the company, whereas the profit center can be assigned to more than one department from different companies or the same company. Alright, this is the main difference. Okay, in order to see this relationship in action, let me show the cost center master data and profit center master data so that I can understand this better. I'm going to show cost center master data first. Let me come here, let me display a cost center here. Alright, let us see our department 1, the center, cost center department 1 does not exist. Let me check the controlling area. It's pointing to some other controlling area. You need to change this to Sun and then press enter. Okay, now I can see. Alright, okay, you can see the cost center department 1 is assigned to controlling area Sun, but the company code is not shown here. So let us go to the standard hierarchy. I hope you can see the company code there. Go to display. Yes, you double click department 1. Alright, here can you see the company code? So you can understand a cost center can only be assigned to one company code exactly. Alright, you don't have a multiple company code listed here for you to select a different company code to assign a cost center to different company code. However, if you come to the organization tab, you must be able to see a company code assignment here if you have assigned more than one company codes to the controlling area. Let me show that. Over here, if you have assigned Sun company code, Sun controlling area to more than one company code, you can see a field here as company code, organizational units company code, to show that which company code it is assigned to. However, our controlling area has got only one company code assigned to it, so that field is not shown here. Alright, but even though the controlling area has got more than one company codes assigned to it, you can assign only one company code to a cost center. Alright, out of all the company codes assigned to the controlling area, you must select one company code and assign to the cost center. The selection will be here in the form of company code field, and there will be a zoom button here for you to select which company code you want to assign the cost center to. But now you can't see the company code field here because we have only one company code assigned to a controlling area. So any cost center which is assigned to that controlling area will automatically be assigned to this company code. Alright, now let us go to the profit center. Alright, I come to accounting, controlling, profit center accounting, master data, profit center, individual processing, and display. I just select 1100, which is already existing, a profit center which is already existing under the controlling area 1000. Alright, let me press enter. You see the company codes tab. You can see lots of company codes assigned to this single profit center. So this means that this profit center can take values posted from these company codes. So this is different from our cost center assignment where it is assigned to only one company code. Alright, this is a very important distinction between a cost center and profit center. The reason why a profit center is designed to take values from more than one company code is because of the concept that I'm going to explain shortly. Alright, let us move this below so that we have more space. Alright, let's understand why SAP allows documents to be posted from more than one company code to a single profit center. For this, we need to understand the profit center accounting concepts first. Let's say in a family we have father, mother, son and daughter. Alright, out of these four members in a family, let's say only the father and son are working and the mother and daughter are not working. So mother is a housewife, daughter is studying in the school or something like that, but only the father and son are employed. Okay, so I would say that in this family only the father and son are the ones bringing in profit to the company, bringing in profit to the family. So I would call them as profit centers simply because they are bringing in profit to the family. And I will call the mother and daughter as cost centers because they are not bringing in any profit to the family, but they are incurring costs because they are eating in the family. The daughter is schooling, so we need to pay the school fees and so forth. So they are merely cost centers, and the mother is also a cost center as well. But the role which is played by the father and son is actually both profit center and cost center. They are also bringing in profit and they also cost center by themselves because they will be consuming food from the family, right? And they'll be buying magazines and so forth. So all these are incurring cost to the family as a whole. So I would say that they are also a profit center as well as a cost center. So that's the reason I have differentiated them in a blue color, so that we know that they are bringing in profit as well as incurring cost. So these are the typical objects which we have to call as profit center, because a profit center means it brings in profits and as well as in incurring costs as well. So I'm going to show you how SAP allows us to represent this fact, whereby we can post income to this object as a profit, and also we can post cost to this object, father and son. So end of the day we can find out what is the net profit realized by these profit centers, which is father and son. Okay, before we proceed further with the profit center accounting concepts, I just found out that there is one more controlling area, which is controlling area 1000, which I can use to show the company code field in the cost center master data, because this controlling area 1000 has got many company codes assigned to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a cost center from controlling area 1000 and see if the company code field will be visible in this cost center. See, it is visible, company code visible, and you can select the range of company codes which is assigned to that controlling area over here. All these company codes will be shown in this list for you to select a particular company code to assign to this cost center. So I have proven my theory that if only one company code is assigned to a controlling area, you will not be able to see the company code field in this cost center master data tab, because all the cost centers which is created under that controlling area, which is Sun, will automatically be assigned to a single company code which is assigned to the controlling area. Only if this controlling area has got many company codes assigned to it, you will see a company code field here for you to select a particular company code. So I have proven my theory on that. Let's continue with the profit center accounting concepts. Okay, now we have understood the role of a profit center objects within a single family. Let's expand this concept into a broader aspect. Alright, okay, let me copy this and then save it as a different slide so that we have more space. I'm going to save it as difference between cost center and profit center. Right, I'll save that later. Let me save it now itself. Alright, difference between profit center and cost center. Alright, so that we have more space. Alright, now this is within a single family. Let me call this as family 1. Alright, okay, sorry about that. Let me cut off this extra line here. Now let's say we have one more family here. I'm going to draw one more family here. Something like this, family 2, and I'm going to bring in the same family members. And add a few more members, such as let's say this family has got one more son, son 2, which is also working. Son 2, that means 2 sons in this family who's also working. Alright, I would like to create a relationship between these two families. I'm going to create a relationship between the fathers of the two families, that they are brothers. The father from family 1 and father from family 2 are brothers, and they belong to one grandparents. Which is another family by itself, and it has got a granny and a grandpa. Okay, and we have grandpa and granny. Okay, granny. Alright, now probably you can understand what I'm trying to do here. We have, let me bring this to center. Right, 1, 2, okay, perfect. Okay, let's understand this. The father 1 and father 2 are the sons of these grandparents, and they have their own family, family 1 and family 2. The family 2 has got one additional son. Okay, now the reason I draw the family diagram like this is to understand why a profit center can include values from more than one company code. Let's assume that this is company code 1, company code 2, and the grandparents is the company code HQ, the HQ company code, and as a whole, the whole thing can be referred to as one big family, which is HQ, sorry, a big company group in a business world. Big company code. Alright, now this big family has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members, which is a profit center, because they are working and bringing in income to the family, the big family. Now let's say the grandpa, who is the head of the big family, would like to know how many fathers, how much all the fathers are bringing in profit to the big family, and how much all the sons are bringing in profit to the big family. How can we do that? Because individually, if you create a profit center for each of these father and son, you can track the profit center, sorry, the profit by the father and son. But if I'm going to do this, let's create one. I'm going to create a profit center for father. Let me see. I'm going to create a profit center. Where should I draw it? Okay, over here, father profit center. Alright, I create a profit center for father and assign this father here to this father profit center, which means that there's no physical assignment as such, but it's just that whatever income brought in by this father will be posted to this father's profit center. So that's how we create a logical assignment. There's no physical assignment, because each of these members will not have their own object in SAP. So when I'm going to post an income brought in by this father, I must remember to enter this father profit center in the financial document. Let me show you that place. Let me go to FE50. Alright, when I post a salary income brought in by this father 1, I'm going to enter that information here, you know what to debit, what to credit. But the most important thing, when you come to the profit center field here, you must remember to enter this father profit center, which we have not created, so I can't show. But you just have, if you have created that, you just zoom into this button and then pull that father profit center and save it. So what will happen is that the income posted in this document will be posted to this profit center as well for reference. Alright, so that's done with this. But that's not enough, because the objective of our grandpa is to see all the profits brought in by all the fathers in all the families. So I must also be able to post the income from this father to the same profit center. Alright, so when I post the salary income brought in by this father from family 2, I must remember to use the same profit center, right, to post the income to. So both the incomes will be posted to the same father profit center. But before that, I must make sure to tell the system, the profit center, father profit center system, to accept values from both the families. Because in our example here, the family 1 represents the company code in the real life business, and the family 2 represents another company code in the real life business. So therefore, when I create the father profit center master data, come here, I must come to the company codes tab. Just imagine this is a father profit center. I must mention that this profit center should accept value from family 1 and family 2. Alright, family 1 and family 2. In a real life business, the families are known as company codes, so I must specify all the company codes from which I want this profit center to accept the values from. Otherwise, if you don't do that, if you have assigned only one family member, family here, family 1, and the rest is empty, you won't be able to post the income generated by family 2 using the same profit center. It will throw an error message. So that's the reason you need to assign the company code. Alright, now once this is done, you can understand why the profit center should be allowed to accept values from more than one company code, simply because of this requirement here, where the grandpa wanted to see the profits generated by all the fathers in all the family. Alright, similarly for sons, we need to create one more son profit center, and we assign family 1 and family 2 that profit center, so that we can post income brought in by all the sons. Alright, same concept. So let us map this concept into the real life business concept. Not sure we can use the same slide. Let me try to do that. May I expand this? Okay, I've drawn up a real life business example. Let's say we have an HQ. Let's draw a line for the HQ. And one fine day, the HQ wanted to know all the profit generated by car sales. So I believe SUV is also known as a car, a type of car. Alright, so I would combine the standard cars and SUVs under one profit center called cars, and the bikes will have its own profit center called bikes profit center, so that we can track the income generated by the cars and the bikes separately. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a profit center for cars and a profit center for bikes. With this, I can actually post the income generated from pure car sales, cars and SUVs, and the income generated from bikes to the respective profit centers. So these two goes to here, and this goes to profit center bikes. Okay, I understand. So when the HQ wanted to track all the profit generated by the cars, we need to post the income generated from cars and SUVs to this profit center, and the income generated from bikes to this profit center bikes. Okay, I also forgot to tell something. The mother and daughter will be assigned to a cost center, not a profit center. Alright, let me draw it here. They will have their respective cost centers assigned to them. Okay, that's why it's in red. And so as the admin department and HR department will have their own cost centers assigned to them. Okay, finally there's one last thing I need to explain to you. I told you that the father and son themselves will incur costs, something like consuming the food in the company, in the family, or the electricity in the family. They are also consumers, so we need to be able to post cost to these father and son profit centers. So how do we do that? How can we do that? Let me draw a profit center for sons. That is not done yet. I don't have space to do that. Let me try to do this. Right. Alright, and finally like this, and it will be known as Sun Profit Center for the sons. Okay, so how am I going to post cost to this son and father profit center? That is using this. Let me see. In the cost center, if you notice the cost center, let me look at a cost center. Can you see a field for profit center and the cost center? Right, but in the cost center, in the profit center, there's no field for cost center. Okay, it's only in the cost center there is a field for profit center, using which you can link a cost center to a profit center. Okay, but you must understand one thing: one cost center can be assigned to only one profit center, exactly one profit center, but one profit center can be assigned to many cost centers, many different cost centers, because the same profit center you assign here can also be assigned to a different cost center. That is possible. The reason why it is designed in that way is that by assigning a cost center to a profit center, right, let me repeat, by assigning a cost center to a profit center, we can post and track separate costs incurred by the profit center. For example, let me give you an example whereby we need to track the cost of food and magazine purchases. Okay, let's say magazines, because the fathers in the family will consume food and they also buy magazines. Alright, so I need to track the cost separately. How much food is consumed by the profit center, father profit center, and how much magazine have been bought by the father profit center, so that I can derive a profit and loss, a small profit and loss statement for this father profit center, to see if the profit center is generating income or not. Alright, because what worries a company is what happens if the profit center cars is generating income. No doubt they are selling cars and generating income, but their overhead cost or any other cost is more than the profit center's income itself. That means it will result in a loss. Alright, okay, if it results in a loss, there's no point continuing with the production of cars or selling of cars. We can might as well close this profit center, because it's not generating any income for the company. That's a concept why we need to track the cost for the profit centers. The main objective is to derive a small profit and loss statement for the profit center itself. Secondly, the reason why we need to separate the costs, instead of lumping all the costs as into one cost center and assigning it to a profit center, we need to assign separate cost centers, food cost center and a magazines cost center, so that we can track different type of costs separately for a profit center, and we can decide which cost is overrunning the profit center's profitability. So we can by segregating the cost, we can decide to minimize a particular cost. Let me give you an example which is very complicated. Alright, I told you that we need to track the costs incurred by the profit center for the food and magazines, right? So for the food and magazine, we need to create a separate cost center for food and magazine and assign it to the same profit center. So you can imagine something like this here. This is a cost center for food, and I'm going to assign the father profit center here. So imagine this is a food cost center which will be assigned to the profit center father, and then another cost center. Let's say I choose another cost center for magazine. Let me choose 3030 and assign the same profit center, which is the father profit center, to this cost center. So in this way I have created two separate cost centers for food and magazine and assign them together to the father profit center. So how this is going to help me? When I post a food bill in my FI document, I'm going to assign cost center food, okay, to this document, so that it will be posted to father profit center accordingly. But bear in mind, you cannot have the same cost center food assigned to mother and daughter, because then otherwise you won't be able to track the proportion of food which is consumed by the father profit center, okay. Or even the son. Even for the son, you need to create a separate cost center to track the food costs. So what you need to do here is, right, let me change this, food magazines. So I'm going to have something like father, something like this, so that we can differentiate. Okay, by doing this, by naming the cost center as food father and magazines as magazines father, I'm not overlapping the cost centers which I'm going to create for the son profit center. So we can track the costs incurred by the father profit center separately by using a different cost center. So for the son profit center, you can imagine something like this. Let me link it up. So son profit center, I don't have enough space. Okay, let me try my best to do this. Oops. Alright. Food son magazine son. So in this way, by creating a separate cost center for food and magazine for the consumption of the sons, I can post separate costs according to the consumption in the FB50 transaction. Alright. So by assigning the cost centers to the profit centers, we can track the costs incurred by the profit centers according to the type nature of costs, whether it's food or magazine, in this manner. Is this understood? For mother and daughter, we can create a cost center separately and assign to them, because they are not incurring any profit. So I'm going to have a mother cost center, something like this, and a daughter cost center. Okay, as simple as that. These two are cost centers. Alright, so I create a cost center for mother and daughter, and if any food or magazine or any other expenses incurred by mother and daughter will be posted to the same cost centers, because we don't have to separate them. Alternatively, if you don't want to use many cost centers, since the food will have its own cost element because it's posted to a different GL account, so it will have a own cost element. We can also create one cost center for father profit center. Instead of having this, let me change this to one cost center, father cost center, alright, and post all the costs to the father cost center, because the nature of expenses, whether it's food or magazine, will be shown in the cost element itself. Because since you are going to choose a separate GL account for food and magazine, if you are using one cost element for both food and magazine, then you have no choice. You need to create separate cost centers if you want to track the nature of the cost, whether it's food or magazine. But let's say if you are using a separate GL account for food and magazine, you can use this separate GL account and then post both the costs to the same cost center, which is father cost center, because the separate GL account will have its identical cost element in the cost and controlling area. So it will show the nature of cost, whether it's food or magazine, under the cost center report for father. So in that way you can maintain only one cost center, because the nature of cost will be shown in the cost element under the cost center. That's also possible. Okay, finish the concepts for profit center accounting.